In the quiet coastal city of Itoman, located in Okinawa Prefecture, an unexpected incident at the municipal school lunch center stirred concern and surprise among the community. Early on the morning of the 5th, staff members at the Itoman City School Lunch Center made a rather unsettling discovery. 5 rats were caught inside and around the food preparation area. This discovery immediately set off a series of responses aimed at ensuring hygiene, safety, and public reassurance. According to reports, 3 of the rats were found inside the cooking facility itself, while 2 others were caught just outside the building. The traps that caught them had been set the previous day after workers noticed suspicious droppings inside the kitchen. Once the evidence became clear, the management took swift action to suspend meal preparation and begin an extensive cleaning operation. The sighting wasn't treated lightly. As soon as the problem was confirmed, the entire food service for local schools was halted. The city authorities decided that, for the sake of the students' health and trust, the lunch center would stop operations until the 10th of the month. During this period, every part of the facility, from kitchen surfaces to storage areas, would be thoroughly disinfected, washed, and checked. For many parents, the news came as a shock. The Itoman School Lunch Center is responsible for supplying approximately 7,000 meals a day to elementary and junior high schools across the city. With such a large number of meals affected, the disruption was significant. Teachers and students had to quickly adjust, as meals that were normally prepared fresh each morning suddenly stopped arriving. On the morning of the 4th, when the initial signs of rodent activity were found, workers decided not to proceed with the standard menu. Instead, they served emergency curry meals, a simple, shelf-stable option that could be provided safely without needing to use the possibly contaminated kitchen equipment. The following day, however, the situation escalated. By then, cooking was halted completely, and schools received only milk as a temporary measure. City officials and the lunch center management faced a difficult balancing act. They needed to respond quickly enough to prevent any possible health issues, while also communicating transparently with the public to maintain confidence. The head of the center, Director Kan Daisuke, in Japanese, Da Shanghuan, publicly apologized through local media, expressing deep regret for the disruption and concern it caused. He stated that as the person responsible, he viewed the incident with utmost seriousness and would ensure that such an event would never happen again. Behind the scenes, cleaning crews worked tirelessly. Specialized teams entered the center to perform pest control measures, sealing potential entry points, replacing traps, and disinfecting the premises with food-safe sanitizers. Inspectors from the Okinawa Public Health Office also visited the site to assess whether the contamination could have spread to any food materials. In Japan, school lunches are considered an essential part of children's education and nutrition. They're more than just a meal, they represent a shared community experience where students learn about health, manners, and food culture. Because of that, any disruption, especially one involving hygiene, strikes a sensitive chord. Parents voiced mixed feelings. Many appreciated the quick response by authorities, saying it was better to be safe than sorry. Others worried about the broader issue of pest control and food safety in public institutions. The local education board assured everyone that this was an isolated incident and that the facility had already begun upgrading its hygiene protocols. By the evening of the 5th, community discussions had spread across social media. Residents debated how such an incident could have occurred despite Japan's generally strict sanitation standards. Some speculated that the changing weather might have driven rodents indoors, while others pointed to aging infrastructure as a possible factor. Itoman city officials were careful in their statements, emphasizing transparency and responsibility. They explained that while rats had been discovered, there was no evidence of contamination reaching any meals already distributed. Nevertheless, they believed it was their duty to stop operations immediately to ensure absolute safety. As part of the preventive plan, pest control experts were called in to survey not just the kitchen but also surrounding areas, including waste disposal zones, drainage points, and food storage facilities. Each zone was carefully mapped and examined for rodent traces. Teachers across the city adapted quickly. At several schools, lunch periods were adjusted or shortened. In some classrooms, children brought packed lunches from home for the first time in months. The temporary change sparked curiosity among students, who asked teachers about the importance of food hygiene and how such issues are handled. The local media covered the story extensively but with measured tone. Newspapers described the event as a necessary pause for safety, rather than a scandal. They reminded readers that even the cleanest facilities can face challenges and that the real test lies in how swiftly authorities act. In the days following, the Itoman Board of Education released updates through its website, explaining the progress of disinfection and pest removal. Each report detailed how the staff was retrained in sanitation measures, how equipment was sterilized, and how food ingredients were inspected. Health inspectors required multiple rounds of testing before allowing operations to resume. Samples were taken from countertops, utensils, and air vents to check for any trace of contamination. Each test result had to meet national food safety standards before the green light could be given. For the students, this became a learning moment. Teachers used the incident to discuss real-world topics such as food safety, environmental cleanliness, and teamwork during crises. Many children wrote reflections in their journals, expressing sympathy for the workers and gratitude that adults were taking care of their well-being. Meanwhile, the center's management reviewed its overall structure. Meetings were held to assess whether maintenance schedules had been too relaxed, or whether waste disposal routines needed adjustment. The conclusion was clear. More frequent inspections and upgrades to the facility's building materials would be introduced. Some experts suggested installing modern electronic monitoring systems to detect pests before they become visible. Others advised creating a stricter supplier control system, ensuring that packaging, delivery routes, and waste areas are fully sealed. The incident also brought attention to Japan's broader public health infrastructure. Despite being known for cleanliness, the country's older school buildings and food centers sometimes face aging equipment, especially in rural areas. Budget limitations can delay renovations, making even well-run facilities vulnerable. Public sentiment slowly shifted from alarm to understanding. The apology from Director Daisuke and the visible cleanup efforts reassured many families. Local newspapers published follow-up articles showing workers scrubbing walls, replacing ceiling panels, and installing new stainless steel barriers. By the 7th, the worst of the crisis had passed. Still, the suspension of school lunches remained in effect as planned, giving time for complete verification. Officials wanted to ensure that when meals resumed, parents could trust them completely. Throughout the city, conversations about hygiene extended beyond schools. Restaurants and private kitchens took the story as a reminder to double-check their own cleanliness. Some shops even launched Clean Kitchen Week campaigns, emphasizing their commitment to food safety. The Okinawa prefectural government also took notice. It requested a report from Itoman City on the steps taken, with the goal of sharing best practices with other municipalities. They praised the city's quick communication and openness, a response that prevented rumors from spreading. By the 9th, experts from a National Food Safety Association visited the center. Their evaluation noted that although the discovery of rats was serious, the overall management response was exemplary. Immediate containment, suspension, and transparent reporting were seen as signs of professional accountability. As the reopening date approached, staff gathered to discuss morale and lessons learned. Many expressed relief that no illnesses had occurred. Others spoke emotionally about how difficult it was to stop serving meals to children, even temporarily, because school lunches represented care and community. On the morning of the 10th, the final inspection was completed. Inspectors reported that the facility met all hygiene criteria. Every corner was cleaned, every drain covered, and every piece of equipment sanitized. After a thorough review, the city authorized the lunch center to resume operations the following week. When the first post-cleaning meals were served, the moment carried symbolic weight. Teachers and students alike appreciated the return to normalcy. Some schools held short assemblies to thank the kitchen staff for their hard work and resilience. In the end, what began as a troubling discovery turned into a story of accountability and recovery. It reminded the people of Itoman, and beyond, that safety in food service depends not just on systems, but on human vigilance and responsibility. The incident also reinforced the public's understanding that transparency builds trust. By confronting the issue directly, apologizing sincerely, and taking immediate corrective action, the city demonstrated the value of honesty in public service. As life in Itoman returned to its calm rhythm, the memory of those few days lingered as a lesson in community cooperation. From parents and teachers to health workers and city officials, everyone played a part in turning a problem into an opportunity for improvement. In a broader sense, the event highlighted how even small cities must remain alert to environmental factors and sanitation risks. Nature and urban life intersect in complex ways, and maintaining balance requires constant care. Through all of this, one message stood out clearly: safeguarding children's health is a shared duty, one that transcends inconvenience or cost. The Itoman School Lunch Center's experience became a testament to that principle, a brief disruption that ultimately strengthened the system's integrity. And so, as the aroma of freshly cooked meals once again filled the schools of Itoman, the community took pride not in perfection, but in perseverance, in the quiet, determined work of people who faced an unexpected challenge and emerged stronger for it.